DSC Arminia Bielefeld are a German football club from the city of the same name, located in the northwest of the country. They have historically been a yo-yo club and hold the record for the most promotions to the Bundesliga at 8 times. They were founded in 1905 and named after a symbol of German resistance, Arminius. Arminius was a chieftain born around 18 BC who led a coalition of Germanic tribes to a historic victory against the Romans in the Battle of Teutoburg Forest in 9 AD. This victory halted the Roman expansion east of the Rhine. He was trained in Roman military tactics as a hostage in Rome when he was younger, but he betrayed his former allies, uniting tribes to ambush and destroy 3 Roman legions under Publius Quintilius Varus. Sadly, he was later assassinated around 21 AD by rival tribesmen. The team are sponsored on their shirts and stadium name by a company called Schuko. Schuko have been involved with Arminia Bielefeld for 50 years. They are a sustainable aluminium, steel and PVC supplier founded from the local area. In recent years, Arminia Bielefeld managed to get all the way to the DFB Pokal final in 2025 when they were still a Tier 3 team. They lost 4-2 in the final to Stuttgart in the end. Can we get this German club back to where they belong in the top tier of German football? Welcome to Club 3 of the European Journeyman. I really hope we don't get sacked because I've spent a lot of time on the new graphics and that intro. Hopefully I'll be in a job still come end of the episode. I say that because since I've come in, we lost the first game and then in November we had 1 win and 2 draws, so I thought we were going to be maybe turning that around. December though, saw 2 losses and a draw, and we've just had the winter break and we are still in the relegation zone in 18th, and the safety places are now 6 points out of reach, and the board have given me an E for that performance. We won Slovak Manager of the Year for our time at MSK Puchov. Isn't that very lovely? We have been doing some work in the transfer window, however. I pre-arranged a load of transfers outgoing. This is what the youth team looked like before the 1st of January hit, and this is what it looked like afterwards. And the new 4 in are Isaac Twum, Hugo Bolin, and Demir Gemalgia from Basel, both of them, those two. They are supposedly much better than what we have at the moment. And Tony Stahl, a new keeper. We are also hemorrhaging money. We're sitting at £870,000 in the red, and we were about opposite that at the end of last episode after I sold those clauses. We are absolutely dreadful financially. I put a full complement of staff in, but obviously that didn't help the finances a bit, and the wage budget is a little bit less now, but we're still 9,000 over it now because of the new signings I brought in. I kind of panicked thinking that we needed to make some sort of signings, which has undone all my good work in the transfer market. And then I've realised that Tony Stahl can't play for us because he's played in 2 clubs already, so he's out the team immediately. I'm going to try and loan him out, and we're going to get Zaloa back in, who's been absolutely awful. Actually, Zaloa's going to stay on the bench and Uphoff is going to come in as the starting keeper because Zaloa has been dreadful. Have a look at this. Like, what is he doing? He's dreadful. We've managed to lose against Hertha Berlin's second team in a friendly, who aren't even in the playable leagues, so that bodes well for the next game. Hugo Bolin, that was going to be our new star man, has come in and immediately got injured, so that might cost me my job as well. Today we'll be playing bottom of the table Meppen and the team that turned me down in the summer, Oberhausen, and hopefully by then this 6-point gap to safety is less and I still have a job. Why are you not warned about signing players? Maybe I was, I just didn't say it. But he's played for an Icelandic team and Hikeli's another team that turned me down. And now he's ineligible to play for the rest of the season. It's actually ridiculous, man. And here is the lineup for that must-win game. Uphoff in goal. He comes in for his first appearance under me. Lannert, the left-back, is beside Belkahia and Schneider as the centre-backs, and Canis on the right. He's a Syrian defender who's going to be leaving at the end of the season because he wants to leave on the free. Twum comes in for his debut alongside Gemalgia, another debutant in the centre of midfield. Mengut on the left, Carstens in the middle, Zakora on the right, behind Cyril Okono, who's coming in up front. I have been playing Henrik Koch there, but he hasn't scored under me yet. And they are quite similar in ability, so I'm going to give Cyril Okono a go up front, and hopefully he can get me a few goals. We are favourites here, and I want us to play like it. We're lining up in a 4-2-3-1 that we've been playing since we've come in, and they're in a 3-4-2-1. with wide players instead of the traditional, in the minute, attacking midfielders. They are sitting rock bottom, 1 point behind us. This is a huge game. We really, really need to win this. We've been playing okay in most of our games and deserve to have more points than we do, but we really need to turn it around here and now. Lannert back to Uphoff in goal. Uphoff at the ball at his feet, which is making me a bit nervous, and they're passing it around at the back, not very convincingly. Please just lump it upfield. Uphoff plays it short to Lannert, and they're in, and they've hit the post. Oh my god. Uphoff again with a goal kick, kicks it long this time to the midfield. Canny has the ball in the right back position up to Zikora, the right winger. Zikora cuts inside and finds Mengot on the other wing. Mengot has the ball and tries to play it inside to Carstens. Carstens plays back to Lannert. Lannert shoots and scores. 1-0. Huge goal. 1-0. A corner now for Twum to take. The new centre midfielder whips it in. That's one of the reasons I brought him in, actually, was his corner kick taking attribute. Because we had Schneider, the centre back, taking them, so I thought we needed somebody better on them. They have a corner now, and they whip it in with an outswinger at the far post. We deal with it well, but nobody's chasing the ball out of the penalty area, so they're free to pick it up and mazy on into the penalty area. And they're passing it around just outside said penalty area and now down the right. Please don't give away a penalty. They're into the penalty area and they've scored to equalise 1-1. Uphoff not looking as convincing as Zaloa, who is dreadful. I really wish I hadn't messed up that transfer with the goalkeeper. I might have to try and dip back in the market again and go even further over the wage budget. But it's either I lose my job because of the wage budget or I lose my job because of performances. So I think I might even look at some free transfers and some loans, but the loan market doesn't look that appealing. We have a free kick whipped into the far post, and Demir Jamalija, I don't know, I'll learn how to pronounce his name after the end of this video. I've only just signed him. He gets a goal on his debut as well. Twum, his new centre defensive midfield partner, assisting him with a free kick coming in deep from the left. They have a goal kick and they lump it up to the striker. The striker can't win it though. The knockoff Xhaka wins it and it's played out wide to Zikora. Zikora in the penalty area now. He's trying to whip it into the middle and a deflection almost sees the ball go into the back of the net, but the keeper is equal to it. Corner coming in from the right now. Lannert, the left back, to take it. He takes it short to Zikora. Zikora whips it in, but it's collected. These two new centre defensive midfielders I've only just brought in look the business. That was definitely a very weak area that we had on the pitch, and they do look a lot better on this, at least attribute-wise, than the players that we had at the club when we came in, and it's such an important position on the pitch in FM24 that I thought it was vital that we brought in at least two players in that position. Uphoff lumps it upfield just before the break, and they're on the attack, looking like it. We need to get out there and press. We do get out there and press, but they play it around us just in time. It's with their striker now, and he's forced out wide. The ball comes into the middle, and a rash challenge from our players sees them get some space. Who was that? It was the new guy that I was just praising. And it's 2-2 before the half. 2-2 is not going to cut it. I'm going to shout at them, and everyone apart from Lannert has reacted well for that. We're currently sitting 5 points away from safety as it stands. We need a win here. It can't be any other result. Right, 64 minutes gone then. Cyril Okono has not done enough. Henrik Koch does get in the game, so he just doesn't score that well, so he's going to come on. Kevin Carstens on a yellow is going to stay on, I think, and the two new boys in the middle of the park are tiring slightly, but they're playing very well, so they're going to stay on. Bulajeb's going to come on for Zikora on the right, actually. 15 minutes to go, and we're going to have to go attacking. I think we're at home against the team bottom of the table. It's a must-win. We're even, really, on the match stats, even though arguably the match momentum's been slightly in our favour. Uphoff with a defensive free kick, lumps it upfield. It goes as far as knockoff Xhaka. Knockoff Xhaka gets dispossessed. And they're playing up the park now, up to their striker, but Belkahia can come on and across and a tackle. Jamal Gia carries the ball upfield and finds Canny out wide. Boujalab, who's just come on, finds Twum in the middle of the park. Mengot into the penalty area. Can he shoot and score? Yes, he can. 3-2 with under 10 minutes to go. I think we're going to have to make some little defensive tweaks to the tactic. We're going to go cautious, put a bit of time wasting on, and reduce the tempo a little bit as well, and then do a little bit of tweaks with the block, mid-block, and a standard defensive line. The two players in the middle of the park are looking very tired, so I'm going to make a few changes to try and get a bit of fresh legs on the pitch. And it ends 3-2, a very unconvincing win. It should have been a draw looking at the match stats, but I'll take anything I can get at this point. Our strikers just can't score. That sees us just 3 points from the safe zone. But that middle pack was looking a bit closer a few weeks ago, and they're edging away. Oberhausen in mid-table, who we play next, is 6 points away from us. But at least we've moved up slightly in the table. I made a move for this Chinese goalkeeper that used to be at Bayern, in the youth team at least. And Oberhausen, the team we're playing next, have come in for him as well. So hopefully we can outmuscle them and try and get him in as the new first choice keeper. He doesn't look miles better than what we have, but I'm just absolutely fed up of what we have. This is the team for Oberhausen then. The only changes that are going to be Zaloa is going to come back in net because Uphoff gave me an aneurysm with that little passing routine at the back, and Koch's going to come in back up front because I wasn't really impressed with Cyril Okono. He did nothing in the last game. My favourites here, and I want us to play like it. And I'm going to say I have faith in you to everyone as well. Here we are for the second game then. And the second game is just ticking on very slowly. The match stats look like we're on top a little bit, but we haven't had a single highlight to talk about yet. Half time then, 0-0. We look like we're slightly on top, but Oberhausen not doing enough to get a goal. It's time to dig in, boys. Second half then, Twum with the corner on the left, whips it in with his right foot, tries to find... Knock off Shaka scored, get in! The new Swiss defensive midfielder has scored. Again, for the second game in a row of the episode as well. Those two in the engine of the team look like they are going to be vital in keeping me in the job, I hope. Henrik Koch, very poor again today. Maybe we need to go in the market from the striker, but we're almost 10 grand over the wage budget. I mean, do we really risk that? Knockoff Shaka is going to come off even though he scored because he's tiring quickly. The game that we're playing now is a midweek game, so we haven't had a lot of time to recover since the end of the last game, and we're going to switch it around in the midfield and defence, and we're going to make 3 changes. Karsten's on a yellow, playing poor, so Bujalab is going to come on for him. We've got tired legs all over the park here. I think I'm going to make us a little more... I think I'm going to make us a little more... I think I'm going to make us a little more. I think I'm going to make us a little more sure at the back and put the fullbacks on defend and change us to cautious, and then do what we did at the end of the last game and reduce the tempo and put a bit of time wasting on. The second highlight of the game comes in the 83rd minute. Lanhert with a little throw, whips it in with his left foot very deep, but the goalkeeper comes out and collects it. The one who's going to be replaced by a Chinese man by the sounds of it, unless we get him. He lumps it upfield, but it's cut out by our defence. Bujalab plays it into Zakora. Zakora's into the box. Can he shoot and score? Oh, it's turned onto the post. What a save that was. I think he'll be keeping himself in the team with performances like that. And a very dull but a much more convincing win, 1-0 against Oberhausen. What a difference 2 games make. We're just 1 point away from safety now, and 3 points away from Oberhausen, who we just beat, who were mid-table. That middle pack up to Dortmund in 9th is only 6 points away. So it's possible that we get up to mid-table after all. The bottom 2 teams are falling away from us now, and it's looking a lot more positive than it did at the start of the episode. I'm absolutely fuming about Tony Stahl's blunder in the transfer market. I'm going to try and loan him out, but it doesn't look like there's going to be any takers. He would have been a better keeper, but not a much better keeper. What a shame. He's like... spunked all my transfer budget as well, which is annoying. 69 grand. Well, that's the end of the episode. We'll be back. We'll be back for the end of the season if it looks like we're going to head for mid-table mediocrity. If I need to come back sooner for a relegation battle, or who even knows, a late promotion charge, but that doesn't look very hopeful at this point in time. I think we're just going to try and get through the season as quick as we can and move on to the summer where we can have a massive rebuild, and maybe I'll have a little bit less of a blunder in that transfer window. But thanks very much for watching. Leave a like on the video, subscribe, and watch a video on screen if you'd like to as well. Bye bye for now. Auf Wiedersehen. I learned.